Hey, welcome to my YouTube live. It's been a while. Hopefully, I am audible, and we have a really important discussion at hand today. So, we are definitely going to, more than scratch the surface of the mystery of NEEL Saraswati, who is also known as Tara. If you have not watched my first video on Tara or NEEL Saraswati, then kindly I urge you go and watch that video. And now what I want to tell you is today we have a very special subject, because we are going to really go into the worship of NEEL Saraswati. We've discussed the archetype, we've discussed a lot of things that is honestly not available. And but in this video I'm going to explain to you the secrets of her puja vidhi. Yet this is not, NEEL Saraswati sadhana is not something that one does by themselves. So if you feel attracted to NEEL Saraswati and you want to do a mantra, initiation is the only way to achieve success. Why do we do sadhana? When we do mantra ucharan, it causes a vibration, and through that vibration we are able to manifest our heart's desire. But without knowing how to make that vibration doesn't happen only through mantra chanting. Lot of steps are there, and the mantra also has to be energized by someone who has worked with this energy before. It's as simple as that. Explaining to you in the most modern way that if you are studying to be a chiropractor, you have to study the syllabus, then you have to work under a chiropractor. Now, I would say same thing with photography. You may be a talented photographer, but at the end of the day, you have to know the lenses, you have to know how light works, you have to know set design, right? From the basics as rule of three, and then you have to progress on, and then you have to go into abstractions. So whether it be photography, whether it be even the work of a plumber or the work of an electrician, that's why we have mentors. Why? Because our mentors teach us how it is, how it can be easier to work and accomplish said task. So this is why NEEL Saraswati sadhana is not to be done without initiation, definitely. But in this video, I will explain to you the wondrous secrets of NEEL Saraswati and her vidhi. Now, I told you that you have to watch the first video that I made on NEEL Saraswati, where I have explained to you tons of stuff that's immensely important to understand the archetype, right? The archetype of NEEL Saraswati, once awakened within you, will bring you all this is channeled stuff, handwritten cursive channeled stuff that I'm going to talk with you about. So brace yourself, get a coffee or a tea or a drink or whatever it is, seat yourself, and let's explore NEEL Saraswati. Wow, the first message, YouTube is telling me this message is held for review. Wow. Alright. If you love the goddess in all her manifestations, don't forget to leave a comment below. You can say Jai Ma or Jai NEEL Saraswati. And you can leave a comment so my NEEL Saraswati will know that you were a witness to this little expose that I am about to impart right now. Not that it makes a difference, because it makes no difference if I make this video and if I tell you the secrets of NEEL Saraswati or I don't, whether you believe in NEEL Saraswati or you don't. The fact is that Shakti is everything. Alright, Shakti is everything. So whether you call her NEEL Saraswati, you call her Mahalakshmi, you call her Durga, or whether you call her God, her and make her a him and call him God. So it's the same. Everything that you see in this manifested world is Shakti. Alright? Yes. So everything is Shakti. There is nothing else because Shiva is Shava. And Shiva is not interested in starting new worlds. Is not interested in, coming out of Yog Nidra. It is Devi herself. It is the feminine that creates the spandan and that awakens the universe. And Shava becomes Shiva. E Shakti Bij. So everything is Shakti, whether you like someone, they are Shakti. You don't like someone, they are Shakti. You like this video, this is an exploration of Shakti. You don't like this video, that's also an exploration of Shakti. The point is that the side of Shakti that needs to be played out, all right, for the times, for, again, Saturn, for the times. That is the side of Shakti that will come forward. So, having said that, everything is the goddess. The goddess is everything, right? But we cannot know everything. We need to simplify just for the sake of our limited intelligence, our limited understanding. So we need to start simplifying the concept of the goddess. We need to understand that the goddess is everything. So it doesn't make a difference if you want to watch this video, if you don't want to watch this video, if you like what I'm saying, if you don't like what I'm saying, everything is Shakti. Alright? Now, before we begin, we are of course going to do a Ganesh Avahan. Without Ganpati, there is no realization of the Devi. Right? Without Bhairav, there is no realization of the Devi. So we are going to put our hands together in great devotion, great love for the elephantine god. When the Godhead takes the shape of the elephantine form, that's when Ganpati begins to create. That's a creation of Gakara. Gakara, gravity, quantum gravity that holds things together, right? So, before we begin, let us ask Ganpati to give us wisdom in this world when wisdom is greatly needed, to give us love, compassion, to give us understanding, to give us understanding, to give us hope and love. That's all we can do. Gananam tva ganapatigum havamahi kavim kavina upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam brahmana brahmanaspatayana shunrunutibi siddhasadhanam Mahaganapataye Namaha. And of course we are talking about Ma NEEL Saraswati. There she is. Ma NEEL Saraswati Dhyan Mantra I have shared with you. Pratyalid padam ghoram mundamala prashobhite Khadge lambodare bhime ugratara namostute. So this is the dhyan. This is longer. This is a shortened form that I teach, beginner's level, because the dhyana mantra of Tara is quite big actually. But it has been shortened to these two lines at the beginner's level. And then you, of course, move on to the full dhyana mantra. Pratyalid padam ghore mundamala prashobhite khadge lambodare bhime ugratara namostute. NEEL Saraswati. Now I have explained to you in my Chandi video who is Chandi. Chandi is the goddess that holds the archetype, the tripartite goddess, who holds the archetype of Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, and Mahakali. That is Adi Parashakti Chandi. Right? We spoke about that in the Chandi video. So, when we want to study facets of, yes, I'll get to that. I have already spoken about this in great detail actually. Oh, many videos. So, I'm not going to be answering questions like that. You just have to watch the whole presentation. So, Neel. What is Neel? Neel is blue. What comes to mind when you think of blue? What comes to mind when you think of blue? The color of space, Antariksha. Antariksha is blue. I mean, we perceive it to be blue. So there's something to that also. Because space is not really blue, no. It is black, like Kali. Like Mahakali, space is black, jet black. The blue is seen as water molecules, which are moisture that refract that particular shade that we perceive as blue. Again, I told you water is indeed a very magical substance. We can't live without it. We can't do magic without it. We can't worship without it. So it's very important to understand that space is black. Black like Kali. But when water moisture refracts that light, we perceive it to be Antariksha, to be blue. Right? When Kali, the first Mahavidya, Kali, when she becomes more accessible, told you Kali is very difficult to access, to understand the Mahavidya of Kali. That's why there are so many, strange interpretations of Kali, right? Some Christian channels tend to call her a demon. Kali is a demon. I've seen videos like that on YouTube, believe me. So, it's quite a shock who are not to those who are not Sanatani. It's quite a shock. The whole iconography of Kali, it instills a certain fear. Though she's naked, nobody would think of, nobody would have salacious thoughts because she's fierce. It's not easy to approach Kali. So when Kali becomes more accessible, then she becomes Tara. For Kali is pure abstraction. And you cannot really comprehend pure abstraction. I told you that our brains, right, how we read reality, what we can see, how much we can see in the infrared spectrum, how much we can hear in the acoustic spectrum, is very limited. We are like horses with blinkers. We have a very limited perception of reality, and yet we tend to think that reality is what we see, reality is what we hear. But is that the absolute truth? No. There is tremendous amounts of energies that are just inaccessible to us. And that's what sadhana does. That's when sadhana comes in and helps you hear that which is inaudible. Helps you see that which cannot be viewed normally, right? So this is something very important to understand, that when Kali becomes Nilvarna, when Kali comes out of the state of pure abstraction, then she is Tara. But the point is that Kali and Tara are one and the same. The Devi is one and the same. There is no duality. This is what I don't understand, that, I've tried to explain this to people, but they just don't seem to get it. Durga is not a separate goddess, or Kali is not a separate goddess. Tripura Sundari is not a separate goddess. These are different variants of that one Parashakti. When she sustains, she is Mahalakshmi. When she destroys, she is Mahakali. When she imparts wisdom, she is NEEL Saraswati. So, they are not different. Kali, Tara, Sodashi, Bhuvaneshwari, Bhairavi, Chinnamasta, Dhumavati, Bagla, Matangi, Kamala are not different. They are one and the same. Just different sides of that energy. That is Shakti. That energy manifests when that energy sustains, she becomes Mahalakshmi. So this is the thing that, the other day when I was doing Dhanteras Puja and I was doing Lakshmi Puja, Mahalakshmi Puja, and I thought to myself that, hey Ma Lakshmi, and it was a realization, and I was just left. It was a stupendous realization that here we are, petty little people, say, Ma Lakshmi, give us wealth, Ma Lakshmi. But do we ever sit down to consider that where does this wealth come from? Mahalakshmi must create and sustain this wealth. Okay, not only create may not be the correct word, but Mahalakshmi and Vishnu must sustain. And they are giving this to you so you can sustain. When we say that, oh, she is very Lokhimonto. In Bengali, we have a word Lokhimonto. She's like Lakshmi. What does that mean? That means she in herself embodies the archetype of Lakshmi. In Kojagari Lakshmi Puja, when we do a Lakshmi Viday, it's nothing but the realization that all the Lakshmi within us, the destructive tendencies that do not help us sustain, may we get rid of that. For we need to sustain what we have, okay? We can create something, but sustenance is of great importance. And I was left in tears. I said, hey Mahalakshmi, the energy that sustains with Vishnu, this entirety, this entire creation, how difficult, how complex must be her job. And here we are, petty little humans. Mahalakshmi, give us wealth. She's the goddess of wealth. How little do we understand what sustenance means, what a maintenance means. What is it to maintain something? Even something as simple as your figure. How crazily difficult it is to maintain your youth, to maintain your figure, to maintain your health. Maintenance. When you understand the idea of maintenance, then within you, you awaken the tattva of Mahalakshmi. That's when you become Lokhimanto. You are Lakshmi incarnate. For Lakshmi to sustain this reality needs people who will be able to sustain. So if you want wealth and you do not understand sustenance, you do not understand maintenance, how will that wealth ever stay with you? For you are sustaining your life, your reality, just as Lakshmi sustains this universe. Maintenance. So that was a very crazy realization, and I told Mahalakshmi that I am here to hold your archetype within me, to sustain whatever little bit, being just a human, whatever little bit I can sustain, whatever little bit I can maintain of your creation. I will do that with all my heart, with all my soul. I do not ask for anything, but all I ask is give me the ability to sustain, to maintain your creation. It was a very crazy realization actually, this Lakshmi Puja and Dhanteras and all of that. It was, and I had never quite connected to Mahalakshmi Tattva in that way. You know, I had never ever connected to Mahalakshmi Tattva in that way as I did this Dhanteras, this Lakshmi Puja. So stop asking Ma Lakshmi for wealth, become somebody who maintains her creation. Become somebody who holds her attributes. And then you will see, you don't need to ask for anything. It is that simple, to tell you the truth. That simple. Yet we think it is so hard, it is so difficult. But to understand the secrets of life, we have to understand the archetypes that are inherent within us. And then to work on that archetype. Devta's anugraha is not hate. Devta doesn't appear like this and say, okay, bolo, tumko kya chahiye? Main tumhe var dunga ki var dungi. It doesn't work like that. When you, when you receive when you receive the wisdom and awaken the archetype, then you will see that, stop please, you go sit there, go sit there, go sit there please, don't disturb me now. Berunath. Don't. Chalo. So when Kali becomes Neel Varna, she is Tara and they are one and the same. Okay, Kali is the great abstraction. But Tara becomes more accessible to us. Now blue, very interesting. Blue is the world's favorite color. Did you know that? The skies are blue, the oceans are blue, the peacock is blue. But blue also has, in more recent times, blue also has another significance. Blue is sometimes melancholia. You know, I feel blue, right? I feel blue. So this if you know about Picasso's blue period, right? Picasso did the pink period and the blue period. So if you look at the artwork of Picasso from his blue period, the one key word that comes out to me is melancholia. Okay, understanding the tenderness of sadness. You know, sadness in itself has a very interesting energy. Grief in itself is rather interesting if you look at it. So through melancholia can we only understand a lot about ourselves, about the world that we live in, right? Now Neel Saraswati immediately connects to Vishuddha Chakra, throat chakra, right? Which is Vak, alright, which is Vak, alright? And Vak is Logos or the word. Now blue in itself also connotes a sense of vastness. You know, when you think of the blue skies, I ask you to close your eyes and I ask you to think of the blue skies. There's a certain vastness that is associated to blue. When I tell you that, okay, visualize the blue ocean and you close your eyes and there you are, standing in the sands and you see a vastness, imperceptible vastness, right? Yes, of course. Blue definitely has a lot of, illusion, because also Rahu is also connected to blue in many ways. So there's that sense of illusion definitely, and Devi herself is illusion. Tara herself is illusion. So, in Sanatan, there is no God and devil. In Sanatan, everything is the Devi. everything. But our karma makes us choose certain attributes of Shakti. If you're nice, you're choosing those attributes because of your karma, because of your, your past lives. If you are thinking of bombing a place, or if you're thinking of hurting somebody, if you're thinking of, starting a war, then you are tuning into that side of Shakti. Everything is Shakti. The hydrogen bomb is also Shakti. That's why Krishna had said that, I become death. So that is very, very interesting, that everything is Shakti. There's nothing. Shiva is the foundation, but everything is Shakti. Everything. Murder, rape, killing, everything is Shakti. Lies, deceit, In fact, I tell people that if you don't want to meditate, if you don't like to meditate, find one thing you really like to do and pursue it feverishly. Absolutely feverishly, passionately. For everything is Shakti, and if you choose to enter into this kind of, connection with something, you're bound to realize Shakti in your own way. So that kind of duality doesn't exist in Sanatan, that, this is bad, this is good. That's why I guess the Mahavidyas are not taught to everyone. And a more Dakshinachara approach is taught to people, because the people often cannot grasp this, that as Kali is destruction, Kali is creation. As Tara destroys, Tara protects. So this is something we have to understand. Dualism, polarities, everything is within her. The great void is within her. So that's something. And I don't know what I've written. Wide blue wonder. Wide blue wonder. Okay. Yes. So there's this sense of wonderment that we feel. Wide, right? Blue skies. We feel so minuscule under it. So that's something to think about. Blue is also the color of truth. Alright, blue is the color of truth, and not only in Sanatan, in many religions will you find blue to be a very important color that signifies truth. And when we speak about NEEL Saraswati, you have to understand that she signifies the ultimate, the absolute truth. NEEL Saraswati takes us to our highest truth. This is what this sadhana does. She is also known as Tarini, and Mokshadaini, Mokshadaini, someone who gives us nirvana or moksha. Mokshadaini, Tarini, Mokshadaini. In fact, Uchishta Ganapati and NEEL Saraswati are seen together, and that NEEL Saraswati is also Uchishta Matangi, which I've told you. And Uchishta Matangi also has a blue form, Shamala, right? None other than Tara. Now, Uchishta Ganapati and Uchishta Matangi sadhana gives Vak Siddhi. Now, Tara also gives Vak Siddhi, because if you are doing, like, when I teach students Uchishta Ganapati, we always say, Hasti Pishachi Lighe Swa Shri NEEL Saraswati Sametha Shri Uchishta Ganapati Shri Padukam Pujyami. But there are certain students who identify with Shakti of Uchishta Ganapati, there he is, as Uchishta Matangi or Uchishta Chandalini or Uchishta Chandali. Then we say Hasta Pishachalege Swaha, Shri Uchishta Chandali Sameta Shri Uchishta Ganapatim Shri Padukam Pujami. Understand? So this Shakti of Uchishta Ganapati is one and the same. Is one and the same. Now, if you are really in deadly complications, or you are in some kind of trouble and you don't know how to get out of this, she will rescue you. Neel Saraswati will rescue you as Ugratara. Neel Saraswati's Tantra is very potent and quick acting. She is the Adhishthatri Devi of Siddhi. Right? Why do we do sadhana? To get Siddhi. And she is the Adhishthatri Devi of Siddhi itself. So you have to have her blessings if you are going to get Siddhi in any Devi mantra, in any Bhairav mantra, in any Ganapati mantra. That's why Uchishta Ganapati taps it in really quickly. That immediately you start praying to Neel Saraswati with Uchishta Ganapati. Right? So that's a very brilliant thing that the form of Uchishta Ganapati gives us. A direct connection to Ma Neel Saraswati, the Adhishthatri Devi of Siddhi. Now, I have spoken to many of you who do Tara workshops of Ashtataras. And watch my last video if you haven't already. I'm not going to repeat that. But mostly, 3 of her forms are worshipped en masse. Okay? 1 Tara, 2nd Ek Jata, 3rd Neel Saraswati. And the interesting thing about their tantras is each have their own mantras, vidhi, dhyan, and distinct mysteries. Distinct mysteries. Yet, in the end, they are the one and the same. The second Mahavidya, Tara. Neel Saraswati is worshipped only through tantric padhatis or vidhis. And when we worship her, when a guru initiates us, she is usually initiating us through the agamic scriptures. Right? Agam, what? Shiva reveals to Devi. Nigam is what Devi reveals to Mahadev. Right? So, through the agamic scriptures, do we learn of Ma Neel Saraswati's Tantra Mantra Puja Vidhi. If initiated, an ordinary mortal can become like Brihaspati. Tremendous confidence Tara sadhana gives. Fearlessness, absolute fearlessness. Now, of course, we know that Tara, we know about the story of Vashishta and Tara, and I think I have spoken about this like 2,000 times. But I'm going to touch base here for those that, I know. Jagat, very huge blessings today. And Jagadhatri is Bhuvaneshwari. So today's mantra is Rillekha Beach. Now, who knows what is Rillekha Beach? If any of my students are watching, I know Marco is watching. Marco, what is Rillekha Beach? I'd like you to comment and give the answer. Any of my students, if you know what is Rillekha Beach, I want you to drop the comment below. Today's mantra is Rillekha. And now we are going to come back to the story of Vashisht, that Vashisht wanted to get Siddhi of Ma Tara. He tried and did not succeed for 10,000 years. Then, Brahma came to him, because Vashisht was Brahma's son. Brahma came to him and said that, you should go to Kamrup Kamakhya, and over there in the Nilgiri hills, you do sadhana there and you will get Siddhi of Ma Tara. So Vashisht leaves for Kamrup Kamakhya, and there he does sadhana for another 10,000 years, yet no Siddhi. And at this point, Varshit, being the egotist that he is, he decides to curse the mantra Trim. Trim or Train. Okay, Trim or Train. So he curses the mantra Tara Beach Trim. And he says that, from now on this mantra is cursed. Tada. So then, once he does that, and how stupid is he really, seriously? Tara appears and says, no, what the hell are you doing, go to Mahachin. Go to Mahachin, go to Narayan's avatar as Buddha, and he will teach you how to do Tara sadhana with Panchamakar. Now with Panchamakar, there are many people who think that Panchamakar is about booze, about, fish, about mudra, sex and what have you. But honestly, if, as my guru told me, he never gave me the literal physical Panchamakar, he gave me Samayachari Panchamakar. So I never had to do sadhana with meat or alcohol or fish or mudras in that sense, or with methun. But for me as a Samayachari, as a Divya Bhava Samayachari, I was told that people who are already connected to the Devi, to the divine source, don't need to go through the literal Panchamakar. Panchamakar is, in the sense of Madhya, people think it's alcohol. Only people who are not of Divya Bhav or not of subtle understanding, only they will consider Madhya as alcohol. But Madhya is not alcohol. Madhya is the drop of Soma from Brahmarandra. So, like this, Matsya is not fish. Matsya is the swallowing of Pran and Apan Vayu and holding it in Sushumna Nadi. Similarly, Mamsa or meat is not meat. Meat firstly is, when we say for Samayacharis, Divya Bhava Samayacharis, when you say meat, it immediately means maun, means you're eating your tongue. That means you don't talk. Maun vrat. It means being very selective about your speech. Alright? So that is the meaning of Mamsa. Methun is the meeting of Shiva Shakti, not sex. So this is like, this for people who are not Divya Bhava, people who will not, also there's a very interesting story about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So my guru told me this story, and my guru told me that, since he was in Aghor, and all of his, a lot of them were sannyasis, I was a grihasti. A lot of the people that he would initiate, and they would do Panchamakar rituals. So I was a bit shocked that, firstly I was scared because I don't drink alcohol and I'm a vegan. So no question of me eating fish or any of that. So I kind of I was scared, and he kind of sensed that, and he said, don't worry, you don't have to do literal Panchamakar because you're already connected to source, you don't need to do that. But for people who are not, and this is where I come back to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu story that he told me. He said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the bhakti movement, right? Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So when he started this, and they were like, nobody was coming. They were like, come say Hari Bol, come do that. Nobody was coming. So then he went and told the village people that come guys, I'll give you guys alcohol. You can say, a beautiful girl will sit on your lap, and you'll get a bit of fish, you'll get a bit of meat. Come, then you can come, right? And then everybody wanted to come, right? So that's when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disciple was like, what, Baba, we have to live such sangyami lives, Shongjom. We have to live such ascetic we have to live like such ascetics, and these grihastis, they just get to calm and get to do all this, sit with their wives in Alingan and say Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. What is that? So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you guys are already fixed, your mind is already fixed. But these guys will not come. If I tell them that, you please come and you just sit and meditate, nobody is going to come. Believe me. At least these people are coming. Because we've said that, okay, there's booze, come. There's alcohol, there's meat, come. There's fish, come. Then these people are like, yay, we are interested, we're going to come. And then they come, and while they eat, while they do whatever alingan, they are eating and saying Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. And because they are saying it, in a while the sanskars will change. So the mamsa, the madhya, the mudra, the maithun, the matsya the whole meaning will shift in their mind. And the debauchery that most people are in the society, that debauchery is going to exit from their consciousness, because they have already, just by the naam, just by concentration, they will get over their baser impulses. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, that let them come, let them sit. I tell you, okay guys, come. I'm going to teach you guys meditation. Sit there. How many people will come? 5, 6, 10. I say, hey guys, come. There's going to be tea, there's going to be cake, there's going to be coffee. Come guys. Beautiful girls are going to come. Handsome guys are going to come. Come. Then tell me. Tons of people will show up, right? And then they can sit and do om. Even if their mind is not focused at that point, it does not make a difference. For just the act of doing it is going to bring about the change that they need to witness. So this is very interesting, that Panchamakar is not all these things. But if you are a Pashu Bhava person, like you are in that mentality, then you do that. And then do the mantra. Great, because suddenly one day you will not need any of that. Suddenly one day you will not need anything, but that connection with the divine shall forever be there. This is how beautiful this connection is. This is how beautiful Tantra Shastra is. So coming back to Vashisht, he went to Mahachin and he did all that. He was firstly shocked to see, Vishnu's avatar as Buddha, with beautiful women having alcohol. And these stories are all allegorical, not to be taken literally at all, believe me. So then he does the Panchamakara sadhana and he receives Tara Siddhi. And that's when he energizes the mantra Trim by adding an S and making it stream. Alright, stream. So this is very, very interesting. And through this we also understand that Mahachin, which is Tibet, were all Sanatanis. Were total Sanatanis, right? Total Sanatanis, all that area, that region. In the Mahakal Samhita, we find the description of Tara Rahasya. It is stated how during Tara Ratri, her upasana has special significance. Chaitra Shukla Navami is Tara Ratri. Acclaimed historian Hirananda Shastri has written, Tara is worshipped by Hindus and Buddhists. She is a very, very powerful deity. According to him, her main forms are Ek Jata Tara, Neel Saraswati and Ugra Tara. Although she has many more names and many more forms. Now listen. Ekaiva hi Mahadevi nama matrang tridha bhavet. Ekaiva hi Mahadevi Nama Matrang Tridha Bhaveta. That means her Naam is as powerful as mantras. Tara, Tara, Tara. And this has also been explained by Bama Kappa, possibly the biggest Bhairav of biggest sadhak of Matara, Bama Kappa, Tarapit. Very interestingly, I will be in Calcutta in December, and I will be doing sadhana in the Tarapit Mahasmashan on a very, very special day. So, Bama Kappa used to say that just pin her name to your throat. Pin her name to your throat, as in pendant. You can use pendants, you can use visualizations, and you can also chant non-stop. Just by doing that, you will receive her anugraha. So just by pinning her name to the throat. This is what Bama Kappa used to say. The greatest Siddha, Tara Siddha of, I don't know, this Kali Yuga possibly. No one's had Siddhis like Bama Kappa Baba. And interestingly, Bama Kappa Baba did not care about nyas, ya this, ya that. He didn't give a shit about all that. His connection with Tara was so forceful that he would go, he would be invited and come Baba, do puja. Big Brahmins would call him. And then he would go to this, the place, and then he would just take the food, take the bhog, say, Aima, Khaima, Khama, Ma, Aima, tu Khama, tu Kha. He would hug the idol. And all this was totally scandalous, right, to all the orthodox Brahmins. They're like, no, sit down, start your pranayam. Good, great. So, everybody would like, do your nyas, do this, do that. Bama Kappa was, no, not like that. And there was no one like Bama Kappa. There still is no one like Bama Kappa Baba who has received the grace of Tara. Simple. So just by pinning, making a pendant. In fact, I was just thinking of doing a small little pendant with just a name Tara. Tara in Sanskrit. And best to do this with gold or silver. Tara. And if you just keep it on your throat, very powerful. For those who can't do that, non-stop chanting, you can say Tara, 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 Jaya 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 Tara, 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 whatever works for you. Okay, non-stop chanting of Naam. How we know about Ram, 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 right? Same with Tara, 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 Tara. I don't know. I don't follow people who are from other countries who who don't know my language. Coming from Bengal, I come from the heart of Tantra. So, there is nothing that, and my grandparents, as I told you, I'm 13 generation Tantric. My ancestors were called by the kings to be the first Shaivites of Ma Kali, the Kali Ghat temple. So I don't think that Robert Swoboda is very interesting to me. But yeah, if you're a beginner, if you don't know anything, then yeah, I guess Robert Swoboda has a market. But not for me. So there. And besides, this is my blood, it's my motherland, it's my soil. I'm connected to it No, that's nothing like that. Everybody responds very quickly. You just have to have the right guru who can guide you there. So as I was saying, that all of this is in my DNA, in my epigenetics of 14 generations. So, and I doubt it is in Robert Swoboda's 14 generations, right? So, I honestly don't have much to learn from them, but I'm sure they have a market. So, there. In fact, There are so many people out there who are teaching Tantra and getting thousands and thousands of hits. In fact, I was also called to a podcast where I was asked to pay a certain amount of money because this influencer, this podcast person gets millions of views, and I was asked to pay a certain bit of money so I could, come on that platform and talk. But honestly, I wasn't interested, and see, as I said, that her word will spread the way it is meant to spread, and because it's Kali Yuga, it'll be different. Let's just put it that way. The true teachers are not gonna be getting millions of hits right now. As simple as that. If everything is paid for, then there is honestly nothing to say, because you've heard of the dead internet theory. I'm sure that everything is pretty much paid for. Everything in social media, everything on YouTube is paid for, right? So I didn't want to go on that podcast, and I see a man there giving big yarn and again talking basics and having people say, oh my god, he's such a good teacher. Great. I mean, that's the kind of teacher that people deserve, I guess, right now. So whoever deserves whatever, right? So if Robert Swoboda rocks your boat, go ahead, right? Doesn't rock mine, but if it rocks yours, then go ahead. Why not, right? So back to the conversation. In Agni Puran, she is known as Akshobhya and Sarvagya, right? But she is a yogini in that text, Tara. Okay, Shakta Tantrics believe that she is Param Siddhidaini. Param Siddhidaini. Hiranand Shastri states that Kamakshi Devi in Kanchipuram is also an emanation of Tara, because that Kamakshi Devi, Kamakshi is also Tara. And if you really look at it, who is Kamakshi? Kamakshi is none other than Lalita Tripura Sundari. And during Agyatvas, the Pandavas, right, they had to go into Agyatvas. The Pandavas worshipped Tara as Kamakshi. And there they say that the Murti is Swayambhu. Do you know that? The Murti of Kamakshi Mata at Kanchipuram is Swayambhu. She resides in 3 bodies: Sthuladeha, Sukshmadeha and Shunyadeha. She holds a parrot, and the Kamakshi Devi Peeth is actually one of the most potent Devi Peeths, I tell you. The most potent Shakti Peeths. In the south, if you really look at it, there's not much mention of Tara. Because in the south, she is worshipped as Kamakshi and Meenakshi Devi of Madurai. Again cementing the idea that Uchishta Matangi, Uchishta Chandalini is none other than Tara. Buddhists consider Tara to be the Shakti of Avalokiteshwar. She is the matriarch of many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. In Shakta Tantra, she is referred to as Pragyaparamita. Thank you. Pragyaparamita, whom Buddhists adopted as their Devi, basically simple. Pragyaparamita. Pragyaparamita. Because in Bengali we say Pragyaparamita. So the Sanskrit will be Pragyaparamita, yes. And the Buddhists basically adopted Ma NEEL Saraswati as their Devi. And she is referred to as Pragya Paramita in Rudra Yamal Tantra, in Brahma Yamal Tantra, and in Todala Tantra. And there Shiv Mahadev is known as Akshobhya and is Shakti Tara. She is Tarini as she does our Uddhar. She rescues us. Now she is in Pratyalida pose. Pratyalida Padam Ghoram. Right? Her left leg is extended just like Vamakali. Now in the last video I had explained why Pratyalida pose and Nivitri Marga, Pavitri Marg. Check that out. Okay, I'm not going to go into all that. Why Pratyalid? Why left leg forward? Watch the last video. Even Vamakali has the same iconography. Alright. They take us to Nivritti Marg. Neel Saraswati is Ghor and Mundamala Vibhushita. So she's dark, wears garlands of skulls, Khadva Lambodari, crescent sword, corpulent stomach, like Ganesh. Okay, corpulent stomach like Ganesh. She's naked, okay, but not totally naked because she covers her yoni with tiger skin. This Kali Ma is totally naked, Digambari. But Tara is Digambari, but her yoni is covered with tiger skin, Vagra Charma. She is Navayovan Sampanya, youthful, luscious. Lelihanadi, Panchamudra Yukta, Chaturbhuja with lolling tongue. So 4 hands, right? Again, 4 directions, 4 Purusharthas. 4 is very interesting. Ganpati is associated to 4. He's also Chaturbhuja. So in Ganpati, Uchishta Ganpati Dhyan Chaturbhujam Raktatanum Trinetram Pashankusham Modak Patra Dantav. So Chaturbhujam. Lolling tongue. Tongue is out. See? There. See? Tongue is out. It's also very interesting. People are like, Ma Kali, Ma Tara. They take out the tongue. And because they stand on Shiva, then they're embarrassed. So they do that. No. The tongue is red in color. Red symbolizes Rajas. And Rajas, when controlled by Sattva, that is symbolized as the white teeth. So, a red tongue, Rajas. White teeth, Sattva. When a Rajas is controlled by Sattvic tendencies, that's when this symbol happens. Understand? That is the real reason that her worship helps you control the Rajas with Sattvic tendencies. Ghoradam strang. In her right hand she holds Khadga and Karatari, and in her 2 left hands she holds Kapal and Lotus. She may appear fearful, but she is highly benevolent. Highly benevolent. Akshobhya Shiva, Akshobhya Bhairav, recites the snakes in her jata. Jata. Akshobhya Bhairav recites the snakes. Now I'm going to tell you a very, very rare Neel Saraswati Stotra. I know I will not write it out because, if you can hear it and if you can remember it, great. I'm not going to write it out. We don't write out mantras and all like that in this tradition actually. Neel Saraswati Tare Bhagavati Harajara Tapa Tamatmagatam Prithulambodari Bhushana Vishaddhari Jai Shiva Sundari Pahi Sutam. Again. Neela Saraswati Tare Bhagavati Har Jara Tapatamatmagatam Prithulambodari Bhushan Vishdhari Jai Shiva Sundari Pahi Sutam. In fact, just reciting this by knowing the correct meanings and how to recite gives Ashta Siddhi and total protection. So many mantras, right? So many mantras of Tara, crazy. If properly initiated, because there's so many mantras, you have to know the right guru who has done the mantra, who has established the connection, and then can you truly do it. And if you are initiated correctly, because your guru will know which mantra to give you. Again, today I was just speaking to a student of mine and they were like, I lost the Shabad mantra you gave me. So I said, I do not write out Shabad mantras. In fact, only Uchishta Ganapati workshop and the level 1 is what everybody gets in common. Other than that, all the workshops are channeled for each individual, especially with Dashama Vidya, especially with Shabad Vidya. We don't give every single student one mantra. Because everybody's propensity, everybody's gunas are different. So thereby, that's very important to know which mantra is yours. So you'll get 4 Purusharthas for sure, Artha, Kama, Dharma, Moksha, by worshipping Tara correctly, Neel Saraswati correctly, and you will also become Jivan Mukta. Poetry, wisdom, beauty, abundance, all that can be yours. Powerful connections are made with Neel Saraswati because you become very glamorous. Resolution and success in all conflicts for sure. Now, I was telling you how that, if you do Tara Vidya correctly, then you become like Brihaspati. In fact, Brihaspati became Brihaspati by doing Tara Vidya. So, there. Panchakshari mantra, I've told many of you. Reem, Sreem, Hum, Phat. Reem, Sreem, Hum, Phat. Reem, Sreem, Hum, Phat. Reem, Sreem, Hum, Phat. This is actually a Siddha mantra. Thank you. It's a Siddha mantra. Reem, Sreem, Hum, Phat. And Phat must be pronounced correctly. Vak Siddhi is of course gained by this. So when she is worshipped as Neel Saraswati, she gives untold knowledge of the past, present and future. As Tara, she rescues you, and as Ugra Tara, she gives you children. For sterile people, Ugra Tara worship is actually really good, but Ugra Tara is not given to Grihasthas usually. Ugra Tara is not given. You have to get in touch with somebody who does, coming up. So, if you see somebody doing Ugra Tara Tantra and they've done it for ages, you have to get your child, fertility pujas done through them, because Ugra Tara is not given to Grihasthis. But Ugra Tara form gives children. Now the mantra was Ring Trem Hum Phat. Ring Trem Hum Phat. But as I explained before, Vashisht cursed it. And that Sakara bij was added. Stream. It's very interesting to know that Ganesh Mukshodhan mantra is also Sakar. Okay, Sakar. So, Sang, Sam, Sakar. Okay, Sa with Anushwar. So, Sang is also correct, Sam is also correct. That is Ganesh Mukshodhan mantra and also signifies the amalgamation of all tattvas. Shukri Mudra, I've taught you guys. Any and all mantras should be done only with Shukri Mudra, like you're holding Shukri Mudra and you're doing it like this. Amalgamation of all tattvas or balance of all tattvas. This Panchakshari removes our toxins and gives Amrit. Rim, Strim, Hum, Phat. Total victory once this particular mantra is realized. Rim, Rilekha, Strim, Tara Bij, Vadhu Bij, what we call Strim. Hum, Humkar, Hum, and Phat, Astra Bij. So the realization of this mantra gives total victory over anything you desire. And Panchakshari signifies the Panchabhutas. Also how Lalita Tripura Sundari sits on the Panchabhuta, the Panchapretas. That's why she is known as Pretasini, right? Because she sits on the Panchaprets. To get money, okay, this Rim, Strim, Hum, Phat, you have to add Shri Bij. What is Shri Bij? Shreem. Sodashi Bij, Shreem. So, Shreem, Rim, Strim, Hum, Phat. This gives money. To get mastery, you have to add Vagbhava Bij, Aim or Aim. So, Aim, Rim, Strim, Hum, Phat. This will give you, with Vagbhava Bij, it will give you total mastery. Now, we know Kulluka of NEEL Saraswati is Rim, Strim, Hum. And this Kulluka is actually known as Trayakshari, also very powerful. Some students are only given Trayakshari. They are not given the Astra Bij, Phat. Now, it's very important to do when you start Tara workshops. I mean, there are many levels. So, as you go through the levels, Sharir Bandha mantra is taught. I can tell you, but there's a way to do this. But I'll tell you the mantra. Om A Sureke Vajrareke Hum Phat Swaha. Om A Sureke Vajrareke Hum Phat Swaha. But there's a way to do this. Alright, so you have to do Sharir Bandhan first before any NEEL Saraswati sadhana as you are going in the higher levels. And then you have to do Achaman. Achaman is done 3 times with Rilekha Bij, Rim. 3 times Achaman, Padvati is done. Then Marjan is done with Strim and Hum, Marjan Prakriya. Okay. Then Phat or Astra Mudra is then shown. And then comes Nyas. Right. Then Punarachaman with Om, Hrim, Swaha, and then Peet Chinta. Peet is the altar. Peet Chinta is a very, very important part of sadhana, tantric sadhana, Peet Chinta. Alright? And now visualization of Tara sadhana is visualize you are in a smarshan, crematorium. And there is a Kalpa Vriksha. There is a Mani Vibhushita Mani Peet. There are Shivagans everywhere, Yoginis. And thank you. There are Yoginis and Shivagans, and they are thirsty for blood and thirsty for meat. They are everywhere. You have to visualize skulls burning funeral pyres everywhere. No, I make recordings only for students. If you like, you can, for a small fee, you can get recordings of mantras. I do provide recordings, but they are on one-on-one. If somebody wants it, then I do it for them. The energy of that person is also, of course, visualization is done, because just by chanting and me giving it to somebody and then giving it to you makes no sense. If I chant it for you, then it's very, very powerful. So as I was saying, that there's a Mani Bhibhushita, Mani Peet. There are Shivagans everywhere, thirsty for blood and meat. There are skulls everywhere. There are funeral pyres burning. And then comes Shikha Bandhan. Then Bhumi Shodhan. Then Trivid Vigna Nivaran with Akshat. Divya Antariksha Bhumi. And then Asan Archana. So these are just steps I'm saying, as you know, and there are many levels to the Tara Vidya workshops. This is what I teach. Now, Aghoris use the Shava of a 5-year-old for NEEL Saraswati Aghor Kriya. And the child must be consecrated as Komalasan, which is a very big Padpati. For Grihastha, a Grihastha needs to just drop me a text on WhatsApp +917030258060, and I will tell you the which mantra and what, and then I'll give you accordingly recording and cost, and you can pay it and I'll record it for you. So for Grihasthas must use Kusasan, and Pranayam Kriyas must be done. Kaya Vak Chitta Shodhan must be done. The mantra is Ahum Phat Swaha for Kaya Shodhan. Kaya Vak Chitta Ahum Phat Swaha. Very, very interesting. Now, of course, Pushpa Abhimantran must be done before all pujas, which is a very interesting mantra, and there's a way to do it, not just the mantra, but how to do it. Om Pushpe Pushpe Maha Pushpe Supushpe Pushpa Chayava Kirne Cha Hum Phat Swaha. This is the Pushpa Shodhan mantra, which Pushpa Abhimantran mantra, alright, which must be done. And now we come to then with Gorachan or Sindoor with mantra Ah Surekhe Vajrareke Hum Phat Swaha. Om Ah Surekhe Vajrareke Hum Phat Swaha. We have to draw a downward pointing triangle, and on the outside we have to draw 8 petals. On the east we have to write Hrem, the south we write Strem, north we write Phat, west we write Tongue. Then in the Trikon we write Humkar. And the yantra, of course, is yantra that I told you. If you are doing NEEL Saraswati Pujan as a student, then that is a completely different yantra. This is a completely different yantra. This is for Grihasthis. Alright? For Grihasthis. Even Sannyasis can do it, but this is for Grihasthis. But students who are looking to increase your intellect, then your yantra is completely different. Now after this, after drawing the yantra, one must sit in Badhak, Badhya Padmasan, Vajroli Mudras and all that. I have spoken 100,000 times with my students about that. So you have to sit in Badhya Padmasan. Then with mantra Hamsa, we do Purak. Then with ring, we do Kumbhak. and we visualize red in the navel. What is Purak? Inhalation. So we are Hamsa, we are doing inhalation. Hamsa we chant in the mind, we are doing inhalation. And then with Rim we do Kumbhak. Because here we are inhaling, in our mind we are saying Hamsa. Then when we retain that breath, that's the stage of Kumbhak. And that breath is retained with the mantra Rim and the visualization of red in the navel, like fire burning. Okay? Then as the fire burns in the navel, slowly the fire rises all the way and burns you. This is the visualization that your physical body is now cremated. Alright, once your physical body is cremated, visualize yourself being reduced to ashes, your physical body. Then with the bead stream, visualize the yellow in the heart chakra. So your body is fallen, but your ethereal body still sits, of course. Physical body is turned to ashes. So visualize with the bead stream yellow in Anhat chakra and spread the bhasma of your cremated ashes throughout space. Like visualize that the bhasma, your physical body that was reduced to ashes. Visualize as you hold red in your heart. Visualize your ashes being smeared all across infinite multiverses, just out there in the vastness of space, spread throughout space. Then with Humkar, visualize white on Sahasrar and see Amrit fall into space. And at this point, the visualization is you are gigantic, ginormous. You are the universe. And then with the mantra Am, Hreem, Krom, Swaha, chant 11 times and do Pran Pratishtha in your own being. It's very important to do Pran Pratishtha. When you guys come to me for Murti or for Yantra or for anything, how I do Pran Pratishtha. Similarly, as you understand and you build practice, before major pujas, you have to do Pran Pratishtha in your very own being. Now with Bhut Shuddhi that follows, you learn to identify with NEEL Saraswati. You become NEEL Saraswati. You hold that thought. And now bring focus to Devi's attributes as learned in Dhyana. Pratyalid padam ghore mundamala khadve lambodare bhime ugratara namostute. Blue, extended stomach, left leg extended, very fierce to behold, necklace of skulls, tiger skin on yoni, youthful, 4 hands, panchamudra alankrita, lolajuva mahabhayankari. So she has the panchamudras that she is holding. Lolajiva, that means her tongue is lolling. Mahabhayankari, scary, fierce, boon giving. Akshopya resides as Nag in her hair. Trinetra, of course. Trinetra, always. NEEL Saraswati sits atop a funeral pyre, has a jata, and her fangs are terrific. The fangs out like that, fangs. Hasya Vadana. Now while visualization is happening, pranayam kriya must be continuous. Hasya Vadana as in she's always smiling. So always hold her, even though she's fierce, but always hold that smile in your heart. Anulom Vilom with Mool Mantra. Reem Srem Hum Kuluka or Panchakshari Reem Srem Hum Phat. Anulom Vilom with Mool Mantra 4 times Purak, 16 times Kumbhak, Rechak 8 times. And this has to be done three counts at least. Then we hop to Rishadi Nyas, then Matrika Nyas, then Karanyas, then Sodashanyas. Mahadev himself has said, Neel Saraswati Sodashanyas is Gupt in all tantras. Practicing this nyas, all obstacles fade, all sins are destroyed, removes poverty, gives abundance and gains of all kinds. All kamanas are fulfilled and you literally manifest a kingdom. And this nyasa is not given to all students. It's not given to all students. It's only given to a select few students who are ready to hold this kind of energy. Now, this Gupta Nyas has several segments, of course. Rudra Nyas, Griha Nyas, Dikpala Nyas, Shiva Shakti Rudra Nyas, Tara Nyas, Tirtha Nyas. And all these are taught in the workshops for those who will be given this Nyas. Arghya Sthapan is also very important. Vishesh Arghya Sthapan. Really? Okay. Now, Vishesh Arghya Sthapan is very, very important. And in fact, the Tara Stotram by itself is. Can you hear me now? Is it okay? Good. So, in fact, just the Tara Stotram, if you can do with meanings, will give you all the 4 Purusharthas. It's that powerful. Because like I said that, all of this is not taught to all students. Because students are also of different kinds, right? And every student is not ready to learn the very Gupta Nyas that I was talking to you about. Now, just learning Tara Stotram with meanings is, of course, possible. I teach that. Hum Phatkaramai, and this Humkar workshop. And I would say for people who are interested in Tara Vidya, just doing Humkar workshop and doing Humkar sadhana can be very, very powerful. Trailokya Mohanam Nam Tara Kavacham. So this Tara Kavacham basically can help you mesmerize all 3 worlds. Tara Kavacha has to be done with mudra, and Tara Satanam Stotram is also taught. So that's how I have kind of like broken up all the Tara sadhana. And because I don't want to do like one class of like 5-6 people and I teach you. That's not how Tantric Vidyas are taught. Tantric Vidyas are always one-on-one. They cannot even be done by a phone call. They have to be done face to face like this. They have to be done with understanding, it's essential to understand the disposition of the student. If X and Y come to me, both want to do Tara Sadhana, they are not going to get the same syllabus. They are not going to learn the same thing. It's not a run-of-the-mill one textbook and you go and start memorizing it and it's done. No, it doesn't work like that. Tantra is it's a living, breathing being, she is the goddess to me. Tantra is the goddess. So you have to experience her. It has to be done in a very personal way. It has to be done with bhava, because without bhava, no tantric sadhana will bear any fruit. So you have to keep that in mind, and that's just super important to understand that that's not how tantra sadhana can be done. Alright, so I don't want to keep it too long. I won't. I had some other stuff that I wanted to discuss here, but it's already an hour and a half, and I'm also kind of tired and thirsty. So, and I have work after this too. And I never get to come on YouTube anymore. So it's become like, it's like I don't know when, maybe in a few years or in a few months, hopefully. But so many things are happening in my life, and in fact, as I was just taking a bath right now, and I took off my rudrakshas and kept them somewhere. I wear like about 6-7 rudrakshas together in 2 strings, and now I can't seem to find them anywhere. So I have to go look for them. Then I had my little makeup kit with all my really nice stuff, and I can't seem to find that either. So it's been a really strange day like that. And I wasn't gonna come live, but then I was like, no, forget it. Let me just wrap this up, because I had promised to do this video like I think over a month ago, and that is during Navratri, when I had done the part 1. Then I said that I'm gonna finish this up, I'm gonna come and do this. But it's just been endless for me, and it's all right, not that big a loss, because I'm here now, and I have given you all that she told me to give you. And there comes Bhairav, ready to say goodbye. Bhairav Nath. Okay, so see you guys. Please, super thanks. Tipping is always good. Tipping, I don't like the word tipping, because it's kind of like, I'm not waitressing here, but it's a donation, So super thanks would be really good. Of course, becoming a member of the channel is amazing, in whatever capacity, hardcore Astro Gang, or supporters of friends, and thank you. Many more videos hopefully coming up, because things for me with YouTube, I just can't get to it, because I'm like, okay, I'm tired, I have a class, and then I have to cook, I have my animals, and I do gardening. So I'm like non-stop workshops, my own sadhana, which is really intensified. So thereby I even get less time. So anytime I have some free time, I like to immerse myself in sadhana nowadays. So that. But hopefully I shall see you again. And in the meanwhile, if you want to take my workshop, drop me a message. If you want to join my Uchishta Ganapati group, +91 7030258060, drop me a message on WhatsApp. Join my Uchishta Ganapati group. All kinds of workshops are being taught. First, Uchishta Ganapati is always taught, and then Bhairav, and then Devi. Step by step. If you want to learn Tantra, contact me, and yeah, that's it, I guess. So speak soon. See you. Thank you. Whoa, it's a bad form.